Welcome to Season 2 of Trapping Across America. To start things off, Jason is headed to New York to meet up with Mike White, owner of Sawmill Creek Baits and Lures, and his wife Linda, who is founder of Trappin' Girl Inc. Jason gets a good night's rest, and they're up early the next morning to start setting and checking traps. The first set looks to have a fisher cat in it.
All right, we got our first fisher of the year, little female. We'll get her out, get this remade. This year I went a little different with the triggers. I used to be strictly a V. Now I've got one down, I've got one up to the side. Just give them a little bit bigger hole to go in, make it a little more appealing. Hopefully I won't get any refusals by giving them the bigger hole. On this, we just got a little bit of beaver meat in the back, and I don't know if you look in there, I had a bunch of extra beaver tails. There's a beaver tail back in there. Up on these limbs up above, I have a skunky lure. I have Bailey Hollow up there. I've wiped around in a couple places. I try to keep it up in the air and away from everything so I'm not getting on me when I come in here and make my sets. We'll go ahead and put this back together. I fold them levers up to kind of pinch that trap into place. We'll get this out of the way. And that's a finished set. We're ready to go. And
although many people call them fisher cats, they are neither members of the feline family, nor do they catch fish. Jason, Mike, and Linda are headed to their next spot. This is a new place where they'll be setting up some traps to see what they can catch.
so I just hit that with a cookie cutter, punches me out a nice little hole.
One of the most important tools in trapping is your anchoring system. How are you going to keep your catch from running away? The anchoring system you use depends a lot on what species of fur bearer you're trying to catch, the soil conditions, and the weather. Once you find an ideal location for your fox or coyote sets, why not increase your odds of catching more animals by putting 2 trap sets at each location?
This set, click that night latch, fit that in our bed, and then we'll just pack dirt around the outside. There, we're nice and solid. Got a pan cover.
This portion of Trapping Across America is brought to you by F&T Fur Harvesters Trading Post. Another important thing is that your trap has to fire when something steps on the pan. There are many things that can cause this one simple action to not happen when stepped on. That is where the little piece of screen comes in handy.
We'll throw a little bait in here, and then we'll be done. Your wife's old kitchen knives make great bait and lure knives. Little final step.
Now that these traps are all set, they're off to check a trap they set the day before, only to find a nice surprise in it.
Okay, so this is our last set, or our last property of the day. We have a couple more sets that we're gonna put out, but this is the last that we have from yesterday. And this is super cool because this is my trap, and Michael has other traps that are here, but of course the pink trap one, just so we're clear on that one. And it's funny because Michael and I normally compete, just like count on different animals and everything like that. So I have the first canine of the year. Thank you. And but he also has the first fisher. So we're 1-1, and that's pretty cool. We're going to take care of this and maybe remake this that it's pretty muddy, but we'll try. Coyote of the season, and there you go. This is mine. We're gonna take care of this set, try to remake it. I always seem to pick the muddiest spots, but it is what it is. All right. Thank you, Facebook land. 1 down, 75 more to go.
74.
Oh, 70. Yeah, I guess 74. Whatever.
Coyotes are often mistaken for small to medium-sized domestic dogs. They have a long, bushy black tipped tail, pointed ears, and a narrow pointed face. Their fur varies in color from light brown to grayish. The fur in their belly is usually white. There are many uses for their fur.
So here we go, Muddy Bloody Coyote. We're gonna throw this in here. Full of hardwood sawdust shavings. Actually have a Amish dimension shop that I get this from. We just turn this on. Ready to go.
How long you leave it in there for?
15-20 minutes, depending on how bad they are. That one's kind of wet, a little muddy. That'll probably be done in 15, maybe a little more. That's nice clean sawdust in there, so probably 15 minutes, they'll be good. This was our muddy, wet, bloody coyote. It's not perfect, but nothing a fur comb won't take care of. Looks a lot better than when it went in.
Mike gets the trapping bag restocked and loads the truck back up to get ready for tomorrow's adventures.
Well, we got another one. So we'll get them out and remake it and get going.
Fishers have 5 toes on their feet, and their claws can be drawn up into the paws, like a cat's. For the most part, fishers are carnivores, although they will eat berries and fruits when available.
And we'll just throw a couple pieces of beaver meat in there. This, you always want a big piece. Throw that in the back. There's a drywall screw in there. Put that back. Yeah. There, we're all set. So whenever we catch fisher, we have to fill out the carcass tag, and then we have to fill out a fur bearer possession tag. This has to be, these are just for fisher, and then this is actually, we have to have a special permit in New York State. So we'll just fill this out. Here's 1027. We're in Cattaraugus County. This is the town of Little Valley. We're in Unit 9R. That is a male. That's all we need to do on that. We'll do the same thing on this one. Then we have to put in our DEC ID number. And mark that this was trapped. And we're all set. So we'll attach this to our fisher, put this back in our truck, and we're good to go. If you look right here, there's a little bit of a grade coming off. All this was I just punched a dirt hole into the back of this bank. We had a little bit of our new bait aftershock in there. All this is the top of a food plot, and there's a big trail coming out of the briars behind me back here, and it was coming out, and it's just a deer trail, but everything else is going to use the same trails. So we put this in yesterday, so this is the first night catch, and we'll take care of the fox and get our remake done. Go check some more traps. Out of here. And we'll click our night latch back in. Make our recess a little bit there. And then that is going to fit back in there real nice. That in there. All we basically care is something extra to help hold this grass up, keep us flat.
Trapping Across America is brought to you by Sawmill Creek Baits and Lures, Trapping Girl Inc., F&T Fur Harvesters Trading Post, J3 Outdoors, Element Outdoors, Reveal Trail Cameras, High Country Control, Tacticam, and Centro & Sons Fur Company.
Don't need a ton. I remade this with the same gloves I used yesterday to remake Linda's Muddy Coyote. I don't use the same gloves. My other ones from yesterday are real muddy. I don't use the same gloves to make new sets that I do to make remakes. So that's all different. Just want to fix my dirt hole. See, you can see that just goes up underneath of there. I can't tell if got my bait. Nope, my bait's still there. Just gonna shove a leaf in there. And we're ready to go. This smells nice and foxy. So this should produce something else for us. We're done.
They make a stop back at the shop to grab some more traps and to fill some orders for Sawmill Creek Baits and Lures. After packing up some goodies, they head out to check more traps.
We're trapping coons here just to kind of help out this landowner. He said he had a lot of coon damage in here. When we came in to set some other traps, we could see the trail coming right down here off the corner of this fence, coming right through, and then we could see some corn down out in the field. So we just ran a cable extension. We actually hooked the cable extension of the trap right onto the barbed wire fence. So it worked out perfect.
And a pink DP too, do you see that?
I do see that.
I think it's always so funny when people are like, oh, you can't catch anything in pink, you know, traps and pink DPs. Right there, that'll tell you, you can definitely catch things in pink. They don't care. So, but we'll get rid of this guy here and we'll remake the set.
There you go. Get rid of your cone.
This is some of our sweet addiction.
It's really thick, especially in the cold. Good enough.
There we go. All right, on to the next.
Be sure to tune in next week as we finish up trapping in New York with Mike and Linda White of Sawmill Creek Baits and Lures.